Squad Pod. Squad Pod.
Hey everybody, welcome to Squad Pod Sports, where we bring you our thoughts on the latest games and sports news around the sports world, brought to you by the Sideline Sports Network. A lot of NFL news, week one coming up here, so you know what it is. If you've been around for a while, we're going to make our week one predictions on what's going to happen. We're going to talk about some other NFL news. There's a lot of not trades, but a lot of pickups, cuts happening still. And of course, we got some NBA news, some other sports news. And do you have any fantasy picks this week, Vern?
As far as like top anything, I wanted to just leave it at that because as far as when you get to defenses and kickers and tight ends, even tight ends, you got your top three, your top two really, and then from there play the matchup. Just play the matchup unless you have something. You have two that you're two mediocre. Just play the matchup. That's all I got to say as far as the rest of them.
Great advice this week as far as fantasy. But yeah, I mean, before we get into all the NFL, because a majority of the show is going to be talking about the NFL coming up, we're going to just hop right into the little bit of NBA news we have. First off, Pacers' TJ Warren is recovering slowly, and he's out indefinitely due to a stress fracture in his left foot.
Yeah, that sucks, man. That dude, that's potential.
Yeah.
He was balling in the playoffs or in the bubble. What was it last year?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He's been hurt. And a dude hasn't even been in the league for a minute now. Paul Pierce is all in the news.
I was gonna bring this up.
Were you?
Yep. Paul Pierce in the news, running his mouth. What?
It just seems like there's new stuff coming out about it too, because like he was quoted talking about ESPN because he got fired due to I think it was like the Facebook Live or Instagram Live, something with like all the strippers or whatever in the background.
He's sitting there smoking blunt with strippers in the background. They had to do what they had to do. Disney owns the company, man.
He said this is a quote. He said, "I was done with them anyway. It wasn't a great fit. There's a lot of stuff over there that you can't say, and you have to talk about LeBron all the time."
That's my favorite part about it. Is like looking back, remembering back, all you can really remember is Paul Pierce talking about LeBron, like, and all this other BS, just like, man, because I used to like watching the jump and things like that. I want to talk about LeBron. What? All right, man, whatever. Like,
and recently, as of today, Mark Cuban came out and was talking about after the 2008 season, they were going to trade for Paul Pierce, the Mavs. And he said, we had a three-way trade done. All teams agreed to their part of the deal. When we got on the trade call, the third team killed the deal because they didn't know that a first was going to the Celtics. They chose not to do the deal at all. So, just knowing that a first was going to the Celtics, they're like, no, I'm not doing that. It doesn't say who the team was, but they just said the other team was like, no, not if the Celtics get a first.
I mean, that's cool if he shares that little anecdote, especially if he doesn't tell you who it was. Like,
yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who it was, but it would just be nice to know. But he's still keeping that privacy between the owners, or GMs or however you want to look at it.
Blast or anything,
right?
Like these dudes
but
out
they
here
know
put Howie Roseman on blast in the NFL, like we talked about last week. Watch last week's episode.
Shit is anonymous too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was the person that was anonymous, but they still putting a GM on blast, and what they name in the GM they're putting on blast. Still an anonymous person.
It was more like a collective bird. The whole league
talking about someone.
31 teams were
kind of the reverse.
That Howie Roseman dude, I don't trust him.
I
can't trust him.
He doesn't really screw me on deals, but I still don't trust him. he talks too much.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
The ongoing Ben Simmons saga is continuing. Ben Simmons could be fined up to $1.3 million for skipping Sixers training camp here in a couple weeks. And apparently the Simmons side has told me, reporters, we are prepared for that ramification. So, are they just forcing his way out now at this point? Like, it didn't get this bad with Carson.
Yeah, at this point, he's just like, I'm not coming back. Like, do what you need to do. I'm not coming back. You might as well trade me. But how much is he going to be fined for missing games?
I haven't seen that at all yet. Like, that hasn't even
still got till October.
Yeah, we still got a while, but training camp's coming up here in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. It's iffy. I don't know. From what I'm seeing, no team is going to meet the price tag the Sixers have for Ben Simmons as of right now. So it's looking like they're just kind of playing chicken. Like the Sixers are like, go ahead. Like if you don't want to play,
all right.
I mean,
don't show up then.
Don't show up. Let's see what happens.
Let's see if you don't show up.
Because I mean,
and then he don't show up, and they're sweating. He don't show up. They're like, all right, okay, don't show up for the beginning of the season. See what happens.
We're going to find $6 million. All right, that's
He's
fine.
Just like,
oh, that's all right. We'll hold on. We'll see.
Meanwhile, Joel Embiid's like dropping 40 points a game, 13 rebounds. Like, come on.
Damn near a triple-double every night.
And they lose it.
I'm doing everything I can. In other news, free agent Marquise Chris agreed to a deal with the Portland Trailblazers. Chris is fully recovered from a broken leg last December, and he's going to compete for a roster spot.
Nice. Good luck.
Good luck to you.
Same usual.
Memphis has agreed to a trade forward Juancho Hernangomez to Boston for Chris Dunn, Carson Edwards, and a 2026 second-round pick swap. Chris Dunn again. I don't know much about Juancho Hernangomez.
Mm-hmm.
I know of him. Nice. I don't know too much.
Nice in the middle, you know what I mean? Like, see what happens. But he went to Boston, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I feel bad for Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn is like the great value Ben Simmons, where he doesn't have a great shot, but he can play defense like a madman. Like he has great defense, but he's not like gifted with the shot, you know.
Getting dealt. We'll see how he does in his new home.
Free agent guards Isaiah Thomas and Lance Stevenson and Monte Ellis worked out for the Mavericks, apparently.
Yep. We talked about this a little bit ago about Monte Ellis being in some training, you know, as far as like workouts and trying to make it back.
And to the Isaiah league, Thomas. Right. Lance Stevenson was a surprise to me. I didn't even know like he was still active. Like I haven't really seen his name pop up at all recently.
See what he wants to do. Like he's obviously still trying to make it to the league. So good luck.
Yeah,
he spent a little bit of time on the Lakers. It was nice, you know, for a little bit, I guess. I never really liked him, but like. Go Lance Stevenson, I guess.
And the rich get richer. Lamarcus Aldridge got medically cleared to come out and play. And he immediately, like, right before, you know, he retired abruptly, he signed with the Nets. Well, he went right back to the Nets. Yep. So, I mean, they're just stacking up. Stacking
up, trying to just, like, get as many pieces as they can. Good on them, because we're doing the same thing, you know.
Yeah, and they also signed Paul Millsap as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
they also traded DeAndre Jordan to the Pistons.
Yes, yeah.
So they moved that piece as well.
Yeah, he got bought out from there, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Yeah, mm-hmm. I figured we'd talk about that then. And now there's a big old mandate going around. Unvaccinated NBA players in markets with local requirements such as New York City, which would be the Knicks and the Nets, San Fran, which is the Warriors, will not be allowed to enter home arenas or facilities for games or team activities conducted there unless they're approved medical or religious exemption, apparently. So, like, you ain't vaxxed, you ain't playing home games for them, and that's going to get real interesting real quick.
Right. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody will end up being vaxxed just because, like, if not, they're probably going to get cut or traded or something. Like, you know, the teams are going to start looking at this, like, straight like a business where we'll mandate it as your employer that you have to be vaccinated type of thing. You know, if they have to, that's what I feel like they're going to do. Yeah.
And they also announced that they informed teams that it anticipates that fully vaccinated players and team personnel will not be required to undergo regular testing during the season, which is interesting because like the NFL, they're fighting on that right now. I mean, we'll talk about that a little bit then about the regular testing. Like they want it to actually be daily, and it's like once every a couple days or something. But now everybody's kind of like NFLPA wants it daily, you know, just to prevent this from happening.
Just to prevent any type of spreads and all these players missing games, and just it would get out of control, you know.
It would. And it's interesting that the NBA is like, nope, like you fully vaxxed, like no tested required at all. Like, oh well. But yeah, in other news, this is interesting as well. Zach Randolph and Tony Allen are going to become the first Grizzly players to have their jerseys retired.
The first?
Yeah.
Zebo, definitely. Definitely, man. I think of Memphis back in the day, it's just Zebo.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Never, man, like, hell yeah.
Yeah, his number 50 and Tony Allen's number 9 are being retired.
Tony Allen as well. His defense was incredible.
Yeah. But yeah, like you're saying, everybody knows Zebo. And there was reports, we were talking about Ben Simmons a little bit. There were reports that talks with the Warriors didn't really go far. Apparently they were talking with the Kings a decent amount, and the Sixers will reportedly only consider offers for Ben Simmons from the Kings that include one of Darian Fox or Tyrese Halliburton. So they want one of those players back.
Darian Fox.
Yeah. And I don't know if Kings are willing to move Darian
That's
Fox.
like one of their number one pieces, man. I mean, maybe not number one, but prospects. Like, geez, like, come on now.
Yeah,
you can't move him. He's a beast.
I only have 2 things here. Atlanta Hawks center Clint Capella agreed on a 2-year, $46 million extension. So he's sticking around, Hawks looking to do some damage this year. Yeah, bad taste in their mouth from last year.
Okay.
And an interesting little NBA stat. James Harden leads not only just players, but teams in most 3-point fouls drawn.
I saw, other than the Rockets. The Rockets are the only team, and that was the team he played for. Like,
exactly.
That's wild, man. That's
like the next one was the Lakers with 439, and James Harden has 521. Like, that is outrageous.
That is crazy to me. But I mean, how many times have we seen it?
Yeah. Step back.
Now, apparently, the rules are getting changed, so he won't be able to do so much of that type of thing here where he's leaning into players, but we'll see what happens, because I don't think they really
crack down on that.
I don't know how much they really announced as far as how it's going to go and how it's going to play out, so we still got a little bit, I guess, there.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's all the NBA news that I have. Do you have anything as far as NBA, Verm?
As far as the NBA, you covered everything that I had written there. Before we hit the NFL, just wanted to hop on my Buckeyes real quick. Yeah. Let's go. Number 4. Okay.
I was going to say, speaking of that, I actually have the college football AP poll that they dropped.
Yes.
Alabama, of course, number 1. They're going to keep Alabama number 1. Georgia at 2. They have Ohio State at 3 on this one. Ohio State, number 3.
Clemson. Where'd Clemson fall to?
Clemson is 6.
Damn. Yeah, they were number 2 or 3.
They're the only 0-1 team on the top 10, which is crazy, and they're number 6.
That is wild.
Because after Ohio State at 3, you got Oklahoma at 4, Texas A&M at 5, Clemson 6, Cincinnati at 7, Notre Dame at 8, Iowa State at 9, and then Iowa at 10.
Nice, man. Nice. Like, so Buckeyes already up to number 3. That's what I like to see.
Just got to hold the line. Hold
that young quarterback, C.J. Stroud, who set records as a Buckeye freshman starter, for passing yards and touchdowns. Man. And he was just, that was his first collegiate passes. This dude, and we still got 2 of the best wide receivers in the country. Oh, God. I'm so excited for this year for these Buckeyes, man. Like, I think they have a great chance of being in the playoffs and doing some damage. So let's see how it happens. We'll be checking in on that every week, letting you know at least Buckeyes score, because me and him are Buckeyes fans here. And then like Wyatt,
college update, like the AP poll each week, we're going to talk about, break down a little bit. I've been trying to pay attention a little bit more to college each year, kind of getting my, get into the waters of the college pool. It's hard for me. I was just growing up, I was never really interested in college football. It was always just NFL.
It's my dad for me. He's always been a Buckeyes fan. So like, I've always been watching it since he was watching it. So it's ingrained in me, man. I love this shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you want to roll into first here as far as NFL?
We could cover like the news real quick and then end with the division winners and the breakdown of this week here.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So as of today, I don't know if you saw this, Texans signed Danny Amendola.
Yeah, I did see that. I had that on my Patriots bubble there. I think that's great because I didn't think he was done. I really didn't think. I think it was more of a thing about like he needed more money than we were gonna give him.
Yeah.
And he wasn't the type of player that really deserved the money. It was just like his production and the Super Bowl and just everything was lined up for him to make dough. So that's why we couldn't keep him around. So I always thought he still deserved to be in the league, and I thought he could be productive like a Cole Beasley. So I'm glad. Yeah. I'm glad.
After that, he went to like the Lions for a bit, and then like the Dolphins for like a year or something, and then
that was just kind of. I think now he's just was
he was just looking for something.
Right.
Now the Ravens have been going through it. they lost their other running back to a injury, and he's out for the season. So they're scrambling for running backs, and they've landed with none other than Le'Veon Bell, former Steeler in the division, joining the Ravens, which is going to be interesting. He was on the Chiefs last year. He played, but he didn't really see much playing time.
Right. And I don't know if that was just because of the young backs that they had there or because of his skill level at this point. So we'll see, because they're going to really need to rely on him a lot this year. So
yeah, absolutely. So that's going to be the real question. Is it's been a while since he's been the main back, and he's going to be able to handle a full workload. What's it going to be? Because you don't really have too many options other than use Le'Veon. I think they have one other running back on the roster.
They got Gus Edwards, the starter, but like Le'Veon's going to be heavily involved.
And then Lamar. So you only have a couple different options there.
Yeah, I like your fantasy name, by the way. I saw you changed it to "Where's my Lamar." I was like, Lamar? Who the hell is that?
Dude,
I bet you that's Wyatt. And
I
clicked on it, and it was you. Sure enough. Did you see mine?
I didn't. No.
No, it's.
I don't think it was updated last time I looked.
It's just the real Slim Brady, and it's got like a picture of like Eminem with Brady's face on it.
That's awesome. That's a good one.
I thought it was pretty fucking good.
That is pretty good one. Speaking of picking up running backs, Saints released Latavius Murray today. They just scooped him a couple weeks ago. I guess they didn't like what they saw of him in preseason, so they're like, nope.
Yeah. I could definitely see him ending up somewhere. You know how running backs are nowadays. We just talked about Baltimore, so he'll find a place somewhere if it's not before the season or mid-season when somebody needs him.
Yeah. Tom Brady's in the news, complaining.
Oh,
yeah. Talk about how pointless it is to have jersey numbers being changed because it makes it hard to like read defenses because they're used to seeing like certain players or whatever.
Times are changing, old man. We got some numbers out here now. Like, you don't got to have a linebacker wear number 50. It doesn't have to be that way. Like,
that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, come on, man.
Old man.
But he actually, I didn't agree with him on that one, but I agree with him on the other thing. He was actually like kind of taking the defensive side for not being able to like do anything as far as like getting flags thrown when they're hitting the quarterback or something like that. I forget what the exact quote I'm paraphrasing, but he was saying it should be on the offenses and the offense itself, like their team, to protect the quarterback. It shouldn't be on the defense. They're just doing their job. Like
it's pretty much. Refs pretty much right.
And on the refs, defense. Yeah. Like, but he was saying like the team and the refs kind of got to take it on their responsibility. It shouldn't be just up to the defense. Like, their job is to like hit the quarterback or like get to the ball. Like he was just saying that like a lot of these calls are unnecessary, when it comes from on the defensive side.
Especially when they just push the quarterback over. Like, especially if he's not hurt or nothing, you just like pushed him late.
Yeah. And it surprised me because Tom Brady, he doesn't like getting hit. So he's like kind of out here sticking up for like these guys, like defensive players saying shit,
Tom Brady's all pliable now, man. He hasn't felt a hit in years. He's just been like,
avocado ice cream,
and
stealing souls, and going to Tampa, drinking tequila all the time.
Apparently, Brady got COVID right after that parade.
I saw, that was in the news as well. Was Brady got COVID after the parade after throwing the Lombardi to another boat?
After I got all drunk on the ocean there. I ended up pretty sick when I got home. Like, just, man, Brady.
Tampa Tom, awesome. Some possible dysfunction in Pittsburgh. Apparently, Steelers are not offering guarantees beyond 1 year in TJ Watt's contract negotiations, and apparently threatening to sink negotiations with TJ Watt. That's the report from like Adam Schefter.
There's things saying he might not play week 1.
Yeah, and it's very uncharacteristic of the Steelers to not take care of one of their premier players, especially.
I think I was talking to Alex about this, and he was saying that TJ Watt wants all of the years guaranteed. That's the problem. He wants like an unprecedented deal where every deal or every year is guaranteed.
Probably stating due to risk of injury and stuff like that,
Right.
And I mean, I totally see it from the Steelers business side though. No, we're not going to do that. You are
we give you a 5-year deal knowing we're only going to have you for 2 years, bro. Come on, get out of here.
But yeah, Buccaneers, speaking of Tom Brady and everything, Buccaneers Jordan Whitehead has been ruled out for the season opener due to a hamstring injury. As their starting safety.
Damn. Little hit to that defense there, but Dak Prescott, if he can stay healthy, we'll see what happens, but I'm not too worried about them Cowboys week 1.
No, I don't think most people are.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that, though. Seahawks Pro Bowl safety Quandre Diggs, contract dispute, practiced for the first time in 2 weeks, and he's on track to play week 1. He's like, you know what? I'm going to play. I need that game check. You know what? I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it. I'll be there, coach. Don't worry.
Good news for the Ravens and Mark Andrews, tight end.
Yeah.
Bad news for Philadelphia and Dallas Goedert, because the Ravens signed Mark Andrews to a 4-year, $56 million deal, pretty much setting the market. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, damn, I wish we would have got a deal with Goddard first, because now,
exactly, man. And I don't know if Goddard's as good as Mark Andrews, to be completely honest with you. So, I wouldn't necessarily
seen enough of him to really, he's always splitting reps with Ertz.
He's not getting a deal like that.
I wouldn't think so, and I think that's why we'll talk about that later, though.
Unless he has a crazy good year this year, where it shows that he is like a Jonnu Smith, a Hunter Henry, a Mark, deserving of these contracts. You know, even though Mark Andrews, that's a nice extension there.
Yeah,
for a tight end that's Kelsey or Kittle.
Yeah, I mean, he's high production too. I mean, Lamar's always looking his way. Saints are expected to sign veteran cornerback Desmond Trufant. We talked about him being one of the remaining free agents out there. Let me see here. Ravens. They tried out Le'Veon and Bell and Devontae Freeman at one point. Of course, Le'Veon ended up signing. But Devontae Freeman, he's still out there.
I mean, it's kind of weird, but it's been in the news he's still a free agent, so there's got to be a reason that 32 teams aren't picking up on him,
Yeah, exactly. Former Texans running back Duke Johnson signed with Jaguars practice squad.
Oh, man.
Landing in Jacksonville. This is pretty interesting. I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Bleacher Report kind of came out with their predictions for all the NFL awards, and I just wanted to get your thoughts. MVP Josh Allen.
Yep.
Offensive Player of the Year Pat Mahomes.
Nope.
Okay.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Defensive Player of the Year Garrett.
Nope.
Aaron
Donald, because it's popularity contest.
It's 3 years in a row. Offensive Rookie of the Year, T-Law. Trevor Lawrence.
Nope.
No? Oh, yeah, you think it's going to be Justin Fields.
Justin Fields will find his way onto the field. Don't worry. That prediction's still up. Don't worry. Listen, we just had a fantasy draft the other day. I drafted Justin Fields, who was not a starting quarterback in the league. I did not draft Mac Jones, who was the starting quarterback of my team. I believe in Justin Fields. He will eventually be the starter of Chicago, and they might end up making playoffs. But we'll get to
that. Comeback Player of the Year, Dak.
Nope. OBJ.
Oh, you think OBJ gonna have a successful year? I see.
Think, yeah. 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns.
Okay.
I'm going to write that down.
That's put that on. Yeah, you need to put that on a post-it.
That's my bold-ass prediction for the week here. 1,300 yards.
Next one, Coach of the Year, Sean McDermott.
Yep.
For the Bills.
Yep.
And they have a Super Bowl, Bills over Bucks. They think the Bills are going to beat the Bucks.
That would be a damn good Super Bowl. I would love to see that shit.
That's Bleacher Report's pick.
So you want to get to our picks here?
Yeah, we might as well at this point, just bringing that up.
Go ahead and run down your NFC winners winners and divisions here.
NFC West. I got the Seahawks winning the division.
Okay.
NFC South, I got Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning
Tampa Bay
division.
Of course.
NFC North, I got the Packers, of course, winning that division.
Sense.
NFC East, I got Philadelphia taking NFC East, brother.
Makes sense.
No, I am not, and I know it sounds biased, but realistically, I think the Eagles can do it.
It's your prediction. You're supposed to be biased. This is what you think.
True. I think Philly's taking it.
Okay. I have no problems with anything you just said there. I do have two that are different though. Okay. Green Bay in the North, that's a shoo-in unless Minnesota has some kind of crazy Kirk Cousins contract year type fucking,
Yeah, and that's not like expected as of right, but who knows?
Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, and Thielen. So if they could all stay healthy, but I'll still pick a Green Bay because they got a bad man in Aaron Rodgers.
Bad man.
South, Tampa Bay.
Gronkadeers.
Tampa Bay Gronkadeers gonna win this division again. Sorry, no Drew Brees now. Carolina's got a new quarterback. Come on now.
Yeah.
Easy
peasy.
Easy peasy. West, I'm still rolling with our prediction back from March. Arizona will win the NFC West. Okay.
I totally forgot that was on a post-it. I guess that makes me look like an asshole for picking the Seahawks now.
It's all good. Arizona will win the NFC West. Okay. I'm sticking by it. Okay. And the East.
I know you're not picking Philly. You gonna pick Dallas?
Nope.
Washington.
I think the no names will back-to-back the division this year with an 8-9 record.
And specifically because of back-to-back. No one's won the NFC East back-to-back in like 20 years or something like that. It's crazy.
I forgot you did tell me that. I didn't think about that.
That's the only reason I don't think it's going to be Washington. I think it's going to be Philly or Dallas. And I just think it's going to be Philly, man. I think something's going to happen to Dallas. Whether it's their defense is terrible or their offense, I don't know what's going to happen. But I
think Washington has a great defense and a below average offense. Okay. So with that, you can get to 8 wins.
Yeah.
8 and 9, but you can get to 8 wins.
That's enough to win the NFC East, probably.
All right, man. I don't know what to think about the Eagles or the Giants. I have no idea what to think about the Giants.
I mean, yeah.
But with the Eagles, it's really so new. The same with
everything's new, man.
So I really don't.
Nobody's seen this team before,
right? So that's Fitzmagic. You got a great defense, a veteran coach. I'm gonna roll with Washington. We'll see what happens because they at the beginning of the year. I remember at one point last year it was like Philly or Dallas, obviously, and then out of nowhere Washington won the fucking division. So that's why I'm like, you never know. It comes down to that last game of the year between you and Dallas. As far as our wild card teams for the NFC, did you pick any?
I didn't pick wild card, to be honest. No, okay. I didn't.
I picked Carolina, who would make it as a wild card team, finish second in that division there. The LA Rams and Seattle. So there's 3 teams from the West going. I just think Arizona will win it.
I could definitely see the Rams in at a wild card. And since I didn't pick Arizona for my West, I'll put them in on my wild card as well, man, because that's a good pick.
Gotcha. So who's your third team in the wild card?
I picked Philly to win the division, so I'll pick Dallas to somehow swoop in on the wild card.
Interesting. Okay. We'll see. But what do you got for the AFC?
AFC South. I got the Titans winning.
Hell yeah.
AFC East. I got the Bills winning the division.
Makes sense.
AFC West got the Chiefs. You know, Chiefs rule that division right now. AFC North. I picked the team, and then I was like, nah. And then I picked another team. My initial team, I picked the Browns to win the division. And then I said, nah, Ravens are going to win the division. So I have the Ravens as the winner of the AFC North on my prediction.
Hey, it all checks out, man, especially that AFC East prediction there. But listen, I had no choice.
What?
I picked the Patriots.
Oh, you picked the Patriots? Yeah.
To win the East. But for the same reasons that you like, I had no choice. You can't sit here and tell me where everybody's 0-0 that my Patriots can't make it, okay? So I'm just gonna go with that. You know, let's say Patriots make it, okay? The rest of them went realistic, because that's not realistic. The North, I did pick Cleveland.
Oh.
I think Cleveland will have a just as good year as they did last year, if not better, this season here. Another year of Baker Mayfield, a healthy OBJ, Landry, Chubb, that defense, Myles Garrett, like they are the team to beat right now in the North.
I think it's going to be either Cleveland or the Ravens. Like that was such a hard pick. I think that was probably one of the hardest picks in here, man. Is that division.
And it's hard to even leave Pittsburgh out of the conversation because you never know what you're going to get with them. They could be the best team in the division.
Even after like a lackluster ending to the season, they still went like 10-0 to start out. Like, come on now.
Like that's still respectable. They had some easy games, but like there's really no such thing as an easy game in the NFL. I know everybody makes jokes.
I know we hate on the Steelers because Alex is a fan, but
that's impressive, man. You know, in the West, Kansas City. I couldn't put Las Vegas or San Diego up there over Pat Mahomes. It just doesn't make sense. And then in the South, Tennessee. I just really don't think the Colts. If Carson Wentz is hobbled at all, there's no threat unless
that's like, and the whole like I know we're not gonna get into it too much or anything, but like the vaccination status, I can't trust the Colts because apparently like the Colts are like one of the least vaccinated teams out there right now from what I'm seeing. So I don't know. And especially like they haven't confirmed that Carson is, but like all signs point that he's not vaccinated. So I mean, if you have a starting quarterback that's not, and you just can't trust it, you know.
I think like we said, even though they won't come out and say it, I think it had a little bit to do with Cam Newton being released. If not, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
If anything, like it could have been the deciding factor. Like, you know what? He's already missed games, or, you know, he's already missed games. He's already missed time this year.
Yeah.
If we can go with Mac Jones, let's just go with Mac Jones, you know? So
exactly. He looks like he's ready.
Right. But I did have my wild card picks for that as well. I had to throw Buffalo in there because of the blasphemy of putting the New England Patriots to win that division. I know it's ridiculous. So I did put Buffalo in there. And then I had Baltimore and Pittsburgh as the other two wild card teams. You know,
I'm actually going to put the Browns. Your Patriots are going to swoop in on a wild card. I think they're going to swoop in on a wild card.
Realistic.
And I don't know, man. Who would be the third one?
Jacksonville?
No. No.
Chargers?
Chargers. I could see that.
I almost put the Chargers in, but I put Pittsburgh.
I could see that. Yeah.
You know what's crazy is
I'm putting the Browns over Pittsburgh.
I wrote an L, and then I looked at it, and I turned that L into a P and wrote Pitt. Just like so I almost put the Chargers in there, and I was like, let me put Pittsburgh in there.
Yeah. Now that you say it, Chargers.
Yeah.
What were your Super Bowl picks?
My Super Bowl picks. My more realistic pick is going to be Kansas, Tampa Bay, running it back like Golden State and Cleveland. Like, just running the back as the two best teams in the NFL, you know?
Yeah.
My bold prediction is Buffalo, beating Kansas City, okay, along the way.
Okay.
And Arizona. Kyler Murray,
Damn.
man.
Okay.
I think they can make a run, man. I really do, especially if they get hot, like a team like San Fran with a young coach and a young like something like that. If they can get hot, especially towards the end of the year, I think Arizona has a great chance of making it to the Super Bowl. And then, like I said, Kansas City, Tampa Bay.
Okay. See, I didn't go with Kansas City, Tampa Bay. I went with the upset, and I picked the Chiefs versus the Packers in the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
I think, Aaron Rodgers, after everything comes back, get tired. He got beat twice in the conference championship, 2 years in a row now. He's going to get revenge. He's going to come back, and he's going to beat Tom Brady in the conference championship this year. And he's going to go to the Super Bowl. Whether he beats the Chiefs or not in the Super Bowl remains to be unseen. But I have, even in my other prediction, I have the other team in it. I have Bucks Titans. Mike Vrabel versus Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
That would be interesting, man, because the Titans are such a I
feel like they're an evenly matched team. Like, they got great offensive weapons, especially with the addition of Julio. And their defense is good too. And you got Tannehill. He's not nearly the quarterback Tom Brady is, but he's got similar play style.
Right, more or less, just take care of the ball, get what you need to, hand the ball off, come down game winning.
I feel like that would be a great Super Bowl. Is like a Bucks Titans.
Really nice. Both of those predictions sound good, man. I like it.
Yeah. So we'll see though. It's going to be a long season, 17 games. We get an extra game this year, man.
An extra game. I love it.
Before we hit into our predictions, I do have some other news here. Texans announced that Tyrod Taylor is going to be the starting quarterback for Week 1, and Deshaun Watson's going to just sit on the roster. He's going to be just a roster spot.
We were waiting for some type of announcement to see what they were doing, and there it goes. So Tyrod gets another chance here.
Yeah. 49ers signed veteran cornerback Josh Norman.
Oh, okay.
So 49ers defense getting some even more help with Josh Norman. I didn't even know he was out there as like a free agent.
He's going to get stiff-armed again, man. I can't wait to see it.
Hey, wait. Sideways.
That's the picture I'm putting down here.
Cowboys Pro Bowl guard Zach Martin has been placed on a reserve COVID list, out for Thursday's game. Big blow to that offensive line.
Of course, Dak Prescott, just what he needed.
So, come on, man.
He's like, come on, man. You can't just stay out the club.
Raiders signed former Seahawks linebacker KJ Wright to a 1-year deal. Raiders stack it up. Bruce Arians states the Bucks are 100% vaxxed. So nice. Bucks, they're already set. They brought everybody back from the Super Bowl. Everybody's vaxxed. Everybody's bought in.
Like, nothing's stopping us.
Nothing's stopping us.
COVID can't stop me.
5-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Jarrell Casey announces retirement after 10 seasons.
Damn, congratulations.
Titans. Trayton asks, these Cowboys signed running back Corey Clement. So he stays in the NFC East. He went and signed, I believe he was on the Giants after us, and now he's going to Dallas. He's making his way around the NFC East.
I love the NFC East. It's you never know what you're gonna get in this, It's
Trayton dude out here. CBS announced that they will once again have a wild card playoff game on Nickelodeon.
Yes, can't wait for that. I watched it with my son last year. It was awesome. SpongeBob and the Goldbergs.
It was actually a fun watch. After approaching the Steelers about an extension to finish his career in Pittsburgh, Pro Bowl cornerback Joe Hayden decided to play out his contract and test free agency after this year.
So he's gonna just, you know what? I'm not done. I want to see what else I could do.
Peace.
We'll see what happens. See if he ends up on a squad or if he ends up just actually.
It's a nice veteran presence to have on a team, though.
Yeah, true.
Vikings tight end Irv Smith underwent surgery to repair a meniscus. He's out with a 4 to 5 months recovery timetable.
That's
bad
okay.
news for the Vikings.
Like I said, I don't think I saw them doing too much this year anyway here.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Another tough break. Bears running back Tariq Cohen on the PUP list. He's out the first 5 games of the season.
It could be worse. It could be worse, but at least they'll get him back for the main chunk of the year there.
Yeah. Giants announced that Michael Strahan's number 92 number is going to be retired November 28th versus the Eagles, and I'm looking forward to ruining that ceremony for him. Hopefully, Philly getting a dub. But that's all the NFL news that I have that's not within a bias bubble. I got lots of other news to talk about.
I had one more here for the NFL.
Okay.
Did you see Clinton Portis, former running back for Washington?
I did see this.
He pled guilty to healthcare fraud with dealing with like the NFL's health insurance policy and everything like that. So he's facing potential jail time for that.
Yeah,
I just thought that was
there's like 2 other players involved. Yeah, like they said it's a maximum of 10 years.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I just thought that was interesting.
I mean, I could share this as a bias bowl, but I mean, this is kind of involves other teams. The NFL will experience a first in the league history in week 1 as rookie head coaches will be making their debuts on opposing sides in 2 separate matchups on kickoff weekend. First, Nick Sirianni and the Eagles will face Arthur Smith and the Falcons, and Urban Meyer with the Jaguars are going to face Dave Culley and the Texans.
Nice. Okay. So we'll see how many of these coaches are here in 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, but very nice.
True. But yeah, we can kind of hop right into what our predictions are.
Week 1.
For week 1 of the NFL. I am so excited. I am so excited. And of course, week 1 is the Thursday night game. We got the Buccaneers versus the Dallas Cowboys.
I think both of us are firmly in agreement that the Buccaneers are going to whoop that Dallas ass on Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, Dallas's defense didn't get really any better this offseason. I mean, they have one nice, like, they got a first rounder. I forget who it was. It was a decent defensive player. That's not going to fix your whole defense.
No.
So, I mean, and Dak coming off of an injury is going to be a little rusty, at least for the first half, I would imagine. But by that point,
it's gonna be like Super Bowl ceremony, raising the banner or whatever the hell they're doing down there in Tampa Bay. So it's going to be tough to
Buccaneers. They're just going to be rolling from the Super Bowl, and they're just, So I mean, I'm looking. The Buccaneers probably going to blow them out. Yeah. I would imagine. I'm still going to watch it. So
still going to watch it.
Still going to watch it though. What's the first game you have here on Sunday, Vern?
The first game I do have is actually my game, because I know that's why you asked me, because we always get our first game. But then the second one here is Eagles-Falcons. So that is actually the first one listed here.
Okay. So which one you want to talk about, Eagles-Falcons or?
I'm going to go with Philly.
Okay.
In this first game here, they're going to come out. Jalen Hurts is going to impress some people. He's going to turn some heads with the way he's balling out there. I think Matt Ryan, he's good. He is what he is, you know what I mean? But is it Russell Gage a little banged up at the moment or something like that?
I think so, yeah.
They do have some injuries that they're dealing with there, so I think the Eagles take that week 1 matchup against Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm not even just biased. I think the Eagles are going to beat the Falcons. And it's mainly due to, I think our defense is going to be really good this year. We have a very strong defensive line. And I know Atlanta doesn't have a great O-line, and they don't have a great defensive line as well. So I think, and our offensive line is completely healthy. We have a lot of depth at O-line now. So, I mean, I think as long as Jalen Hurts goes out, makes some plays, I think Devontae Smith's going to have a great first game. Miles Sanders probably going to have a great game. But yeah, I got the Eagles winning that game 1.
Hell yeah. What's next for you?
I have Steelers and Bills next.
Yep.
This one, I'm taking the Bills, man.
Yeah. Sorry, Pittsburgh, you're not getting no 10-0 start this year. You might be 10-1, but that one's going to be from Buffalo.
I think it's going to be a really good game, though.
I don't know. I feel like Buffalo might run away with this one late, obviously I'm not a fortune teller or nothing like that, but this looks like it's got the makings of like 35-17 type of thing, and like where it was close, like
I would say
21-17 at half or something like that.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to account that this is all week 1 too. There's going to be a lot of rust in some of these games, at least for what you're saying in the first half. So like I totally agree. I think it's going to be close up until half. Second half, I think that's when the Bills are going to start pulling away.
Exactly. Even though Tomlin's a great coach, so I mean he's probably got great adjustments that he's going to be making in the locker room there. But I'm gonna roll with Buffalo on that one.
Absolutely. What do you have here next, Vern?
Vikings and Bengals.
Interesting.
I'm going to roll with Cincinnati in this one, okay?
Oh.
And that's just to be weird, you know? So, like...
Listen, the thought of it crossed my mind. I was thinking about picking the Bengals, but then I thought about, okay, you were naming off all these weapons these Vikings have a little bit ago.
Okay. Exactly. Jefferson, that's why it's kind of tough. Yeah, but I know Jamar Chase is pretty pissed off about his performance last year. Yeah. Joe Burrow's ready to get out there, like... Let's see what happens. I think they can come away with a win here. End up maybe like a 20-23 or something like that. Like squeaking it out with a field goal at the end.
I'm going to pick the Vikings in this one.
Gotcha. That's the first different
pick. Yep.
Exactly. Okay, next up would be 49ers and Lions.
Interesting game here.
This is a very interesting game. I don't know what to think here.
Debut for old Jared Goff in a Lions uniform.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picking the 49ers, I think, in this one.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to not pick the 49ers in this situation, especially with the rookie coach, new quarterback, not really knowing what he's got going on here. You got Jimmy Garoppolo coming back. That defense is same defense. I'm rolling with the 49ers as well there.
And I'm like, there's been rumblings that they're going to use Trey Lance in some packages too.
See, I didn't hear that. That would be nice to see.
Yeah. There's rumblings that Trey Lance might. Hopefully, it doesn't go the way it went with Carson and Hurts last year. But apparently they're going to be using some Trey Lance packages in there. So I mean, I think I'm going to roll with the 49ers in this one. I just don't trust the Lions.
Right.
Never trust the Lions.
No.
I have the Cardinals and the Titans here. A big game, week 1.
This is a big week 1 game because both of these teams are going to try to rack up as many wins as possible because playoff seeding at the end of the year is going to be important here.
Yeah.
I'm rolling with Arizona. I'm going to stick to my guns. Even though I think Tennessee's great, I'm going to roll with Arizona in this week 1 matchup here.
I'm rolling with the Titans.
Gotcha.
Just going to roll with the Titans. They got Julio. I think they're going to be bombing the ball. Derrick Henry's going to be getting like 100 yards, over 100 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm rolling definitely with the Titans on that one.
Gotcha.
I have a Seahawks and Colts here next.
As
much as I want to pick the Colts because I'm hoping Carson starts, I'm picking them Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Seattle as well. I think they're going to be able to come out the gate hot here. There's a lot of talk about Russell Wilson over the offseason and what he's going to do in the future and things like that. So he's in a more or less a prove it year as well. Like maybe he's trying to try out for his next team type of thing, get that next contract. So we'll see what happens. I think Russell Wilson, he's also chasing that MVP, man.
Yeah, he needs one.
So come out the gate hot against the Colts here.
Yeah. Next I have is the Chargers and the Washington No Names.
This is tough.
I think I'm leaning towards Chargers.
Yeah, I think I'm going to roll with the Chargers in this one as well. Washington will rack up their wins, but they're not going to beat the Chargers week 1 here. Justin Herbert, sophomore year. Hopefully no sophomore slump, but
yeah,
he's coming ready. Got Keenan Allen out there.
Hopefully picks up right where he left off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very interesting game here. Jets and Panthers. Old Sam Darnold going against his former team.
First game of the year.
Yeah, I am picking the Panthers in this one.
I'm rolling with Carolina as well. I just don't think the Jets have what it takes to really win many games at all this year. They're going to win some. But
Zach Wilson, new QB.
Exactly. 2 losses to New England, 2 losses to Buffalo, probably 1 loss at least to Miami. Like, we'll see what happens. But I really don't have much faith in the Jets this year.
Next I have here is Jaguars and Texans.
I think the rookie comes out with the win the first week, man.
I think so too. I'm taking Jacksonville in week 1.
I'm taking Jacksonville. Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence. They never lost a game in high school, or college, in the regular season.
Continue it into the NFL.
He's going to continue it.
And that's
on.
And we're you heard it here first. That's going to be the storyline after week 1. Is Trevor Lawrence is still undefeated. You going to see it?
Big sack.
You know you going to see it.
Beat the Texans with Tyrod Taylor as his starting quarterback.
So then we roll into the 425 games, and the first one I have here is the Browns and the Chiefs.
Yep.
Big game,
huge week 1 game, bro.
You know, rematch from the playoffs last year,
and
Browns almost took it to them. So this could be a close one.
I honestly think the Browns are. I saw an article today talking about they were built to beat Kansas City. Like the way they've formed their team, they're built to beat Kansas City right now because that's what everybody's gearing towards.
Yeah,
you know. So I do think Kansas City still wins this game. It's a home game, first game of the year after a Super Bowl loss. Pat Mahomes ain't losing back-to-back games like that.
True. I got the Chiefs in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely got the Chiefs in that one. And then we got your boys, the Patriots versus the Dolphins.
Mac Jones.
I'm actually picking the Patriots in this game.
Hell yeah, bro. Patriots coming out week 1 showing we don't need you, Tom Brady. Okay? Like, no, don't worry about it. We're totally over it. There's no reason we're still bringing it up. We don't need you, Tom Brady. We got Mac Jones now, okay? So... And it's in New England. Thank God. I'm so tired of playing Miami in the summer, pretty much, in Miami, and them making us wear our dark unis and shit like that. Like, so thank God it's in Foxborough. We'll win this game.
Yeah, I definitely got the Patriots in that one. Who knows what the Dolphins are going to look like? I mean, it's Tua, but now Tua doesn't have that, like, little fallback. He doesn't have Ryan Fitzpatrick to bail him out.
Right. He's got to be the guy now.
Yeah. Next game, Packers and Saints, and this is easy. I'm going with the Packers on this one. I know we got Jameis starting at quarterback, but come on, man.
It just ain't the same matchup anymore without Drew Brees.
It's just not. It's not as threatening at all without Drew Brees.
No. So Aaron Rodgers, then Packers winning,
and no Michael Thomas.
Exactly.
So next one, Broncos and the Giants, and I'm taking the Broncos. Teddy Bridgewater led Broncos against them Giants.
I'm going with the Giants with Danny Nichols. Okay,
Danny Nichols, huh?
Just to see if he can earn his name Danny Dimes back or not by week 2. Okay, but I'm gonna roll with them. I have a little bit of faith in you for this week, Danny Nichols. Okay, I'll pick you over the Broncos.
Interesting. Okay, another differing pick that could be the difference after week 1.
Good. That really could.
Next game here is this is the primetime game. Bears and the Rams. One question: is Justin Fields starting? If not, then I'm taking the Rams.
Exactly.
Matt Stafford's debut in LA.
I'm rolling with you on that one. I'm definitely going with the Rams, especially if Justin Fields isn't starting. If he's starting, that's something different there. But we already know Andy Dalton's starting.
Andy Dalton. I don't see it happening against the Rams defense.
Right.
And like Matt Stafford, they're going to be balling there. So, I mean, who knows? But I got the Rams in that one. And then the Monday night game, we got the Ravens and the Raiders.
Unfortunately, we only have one Monday night game this year.
Yeah.
For the opening of the season.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. But I got the Ravens in this one, man.
I'm going to have to pick Baltimore as well.
Baltimore?
Yeah. Nice. I really think, like we were saying earlier, like they have a chance to win a division this year. So they'll come out strong and get a win over Oakland here.
Okay. But yeah, that's week 1. That's our predictions. We're definitely going to come back to it and kind of tally them up. See who made the correct amount of guesses on the prediction for the games, you know. Yeah. And then we'll predict the next week games next week as well for week 2. But that's all the NFL news that I have. I do have some other things here. We talked about college a little bit, and Notre Dame head coach Brian Kelly made some noise after the game. The reporters asked him about execution of the game plan.
Yeah,
they said, I'm in favor of execution. Maybe our entire team needs to be executed after tonight.
I saw that, and I'm like, does he know what he's talking about, or does he know what he's talking about? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's some crazy shit. Why would you say that? You're a college teacher, damn near. You know what I mean? Like,
and he came out stating that it was like it was taken out of context. There, he said he was like referencing something else. But come on, maybe our entire team needs to be executed after tonight.
Hey, I mean, Kyrie's team, when they ended up losing this last week, and he told me, the coach told him, like, everybody lost your positions. You got to earn your positions back. He said, like, every player on the team, like, lost their positions. And I was like, damn, man. They were out there practicing today, though.
You know where are we at? Square one.
We back to square one. I don't know what you're good at. I
don't know what you're good at anymore.
I didn't think they did that bad. They were doing okay. Like,
apparently he's seeing something different.
Hey, I faith in the coach. Whip these kids into shape.
A couple NHL things here, because the NHL season's actually training camp starting to ramp up here in a couple weeks. And I think the debuts in October is the season opener. But NHL, they dropping the hammer. Implementing a strict vaccination policy. NHL clubs will be able to suspend players who decline to get vaccinated if they can't take part in team activities.
Damn.
So, like, you ain't vaxxed and you missing activities, you go suspended. Or you ain't vaxxed, suspended.
See, that's what I mean. They're taking it into their own hands there and doing what they need to do to make sure that they have
different leagues handle it differently.
Right.
I mean, you saw how strict they were whenever, like, during the 2020 bubble. You know, they
pretty much the first ones to pitch the bubble idea, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it went successful. I mean, they didn't have anything happen. And in other NHL news, NHL players will be able to participate in the 2022 Beijing Olympics.
Awesome.
So the actual NHL players are going to be able to participate in the Olympics.
That's awesome to hear.
But that's all that I have as far as just kind of miscellaneous news around the sports world. So we can kind of just roll right in here to the bias bubbles. I know you got a lot to talk about. I got a lot to talk about. So what's going on in your bias bubble there, Vern?
So I chose to have nothing for the Lakers this week because there's really like no news popping off other than us potentially signing DeAndre Jordan, but it hasn't been official or anything like that. So there's really nothing other than who's our best shooter we acquired or things like that. So I just chose to really have nothing for the Lakers this week. Go LeBron, you know. But
go LeBron.
Patriots. Mac Jones said that he's not surprised that he's the starter. Okay.
I saw that.
He more or less was speaking of, I'd go into it every rep thinking I'm the guy, you know. So I see where he's coming from, but he said he's not surprised that he's the starter. And he also said that him and Cam, he expects to keep in touch with him. Like the way he was just like really close with him in this last couple weeks. So he said he expects to keep in touch with him. I think that was pretty cool. We did have a player die, unfortunately. David Patton at 47, three-time Super Bowl champ with us, died in a motorcycle accident. I'm pretty sure it was, but that's pretty crazy, man.
Damn, that is crazy.
But on a little lighter news here, we had perfect attendance for practice. Going into week one perfectly healthy, and that is awesome. I mean, other than
that is awesome.
Gilmore and stuff like the people on the PUP list, things like that, like everybody who's active is out there. So I love that. You know, it's great. Let's keep it up. There were some number changes. Now that we lost Cam Newton, somebody took his number, okay? Somebody that I'm not sure how they're even still on the team, to be honest with you.
Who is it?
N'Keal Harry changed his number from 15 to 1. He took Cam Newton's number. It's like jump in the grave type of thing. Like as soon as he left, that was the number he wore in college. So that's what he took it as soon as it was available.
Interesting.
N'Keal Harry was number 15. Nelson Aguilar said, that's mine. He scooped 15. So Aguilar changed to 15 now. We had a couple other players change. Like our rookie went to 90 and now and just a couple little number changes now that the rosters are more finalized so people know what numbers are available.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I have for the Patriots here as well.
Did you guys announce like your team captains at all?
Probably. I just didn't see that there.
I haven't seen anything on that. I mean, as far as my news, Chicago we finished out our roster signings. Our roster is full now. We signed Alize Johnson from the Brooklyn Nets, who was dropped. I was actually hoping we would get him because he was balling there for them on the minutes that he had with the Nets. So that's going to that's a great depth piece for us. We also signed Stanley Johnson and Matt Thomas, who played with Utah and the Raptors for a little while. But our roster is full now. We got our full roster. Chicago's looking to make some noise here. You know, apparently Zach LaVine's already out here training with Caruso, out here training with DeMar. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting, man. I'm hoping they can do some damage.
It's going to be a good year.
It's going to be a good year for Bulls fans. Going for, like, games I don't want to watch at all to, like, all right, this is must-see basketball at this point. And, I mean, the only other news out of Bulls is Zach LaVine and the Bulls are still working out the contract details, but it's going to be done, it seems. You know, they're looking to sign him to a max long-term deal.
They'll make sure to get something done.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of long-term deals, I announced a deal the Flyers made. I think it was last week or a week or two ago. There's been another one here. The Philadelphia Flyers announced that Joel Farabee and the team reached an agreement on a 6-year, $30 million deal. So the other one was like 8 years. Now they signed a dude for 6 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
They're committing to these players, man. That's cool, though.
Yeah, and it's an extension. So 6-year, $30 million extension on top of his current deal. It doesn't say what that current one is, but he's a young player. He's been a pretty decent role player. So, I mean, Flyers, they made some good off-season moves, adding some depth. They're keeping the players they want to keep, signing them to deals. Who knows, man? The Flyers are supposed to be good every year at this point. Last year turned out to be a total disappointment after a very successful year before that, going deep in the playoffs. So, I mean, who knows what they're going to look like this year? It's I don't know. There's a big old question mark on the Flyers.
We'll see what happens.
As far as the Eagles, contract negotiations kind of stalled with Dallas Goedert, apparently. Apparently, from Dallas Goedert himself said that they were kind of getting somewhere, and then Philly kind of he said the team decided to go a different direction with the contract negotiation. And apparently a report I saw today, and I've only seen it one place. I haven't seen it reported by anybody else, so I don't know if this is even true. So you have to take this with a huge grain of salt. Apparently Philadelphia, the rumor is that they're going to let Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz play out the final year on their contract in hopes that the organization will have a plan at the tight end position by the end of the season, whether they want to keep Goddard or they're going to kind of evaluate both things, you know, whether it keeps Zach Ertz around, which isn't bad, but I can also see in this lead to pushing them both away or something, you know.
And really just evaluating if either of them would fit, you know.
Yeah, if either of them are a fit. And I mean, speaking of Zach Ertz, I wore his jersey this week because this dude had a press conference. He said, I ain't going nowhere. You know what? I ain't going nowhere. He said, I want to retire Philadelphia Eagle. He said a lot of the issues and qualms he's had within the organization have been mulled. They've been settled. He said, like, everything's good now from what he's saying. He said everything's been mad like it's all in the past from what he's saying. He said he wants to be in Philly. He loves the city. He wants to retire here. So at this point, it's looking like Zach Ertz isn't going anywhere. And even they released like the depth chart today before like the game one. And it's just, they don't even have a designated tight end one. It's just Goddard, Ertz. So, I mean, it looks like they're both going to be out there equally.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens going forward. You know, one of them might get hurt. One of them might start over.
I hope not.
So
yeah, I hope not. But, I mean, I expect Goddard to be really, like, tight end one. I expect him to be out there the most. I mean, there's probably going to be some sets they're both playing at the same time, you know, but.
Right.
In other news, today we announced that we signed cornerback Mac McCain off of the Denver Broncos practice squad, and we signed him to our active roster, like not even to our practice squad. So they must be looking to experiment with him a little bit. And the reason I asked about your captains, is the Eagles announced who their captains are this year, and we took a different approach where apparently they let the team vote on the captains. The whole team voted on the entire captains. And number one Jalen Hurts is a captain in his debut year. Jason Kelsey, of course, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Rodney McLeod, and a surprise, Alex Singleton, stud linebacker for us, has been breaking out. He's been voted as a captain by the team, which is awesome, man. I'm glad to see Alex Singleton and Jalen Hurts there. You know, it seems like everybody's back in Jalen Hurts.
Right, and that's really good to see, you know, because you want him to be the leader out there, even if he's the young boy, you know.
Exactly. And, you know, there's been a lot of talk about Jalen Hurts, and kind of surprising, Tony Romo out here talk about the Eagles and Jalen Hurts. He said, I think this team still has a lot of talent, and they hired a great coach. Jalen showed a lot of flashes last year, and he has a chance to be very good. I think the Eagles are going to be a surprising team to a lot of people this season. So,
interesting.
Come back, Tony Romo. I like him as an analyst. He seems like he knows what he's talking about, so I'm going to trust him on this one.
He also said something about don't sleep on them Patriots this year, you know.
Yeah,
said,
exactly. I did see that.
Don't sleep on them Patriots.
Eagles signed Cardinals wide receiver Keyshawn Johnson to the practice squad. We also signed Travis Fulgham and John Hightower and Jordan Howard onto our practice squad. They all cleared waivers. Okay. So they all made it back onto our practice squad.
Scooped them back up.
So they're here for now. I don't know how long Fulgham's going to be around, because it seems like not a lot of teams want Fulgham for some reason. They know something that the people don't. Offensive tackle LaRaven Clark turned down multiple teams to join the Eagles just to work with Jeff Stoutland, our offensive line coordinator. He's been there for years, which is pretty cool, man. LaRaven Clark, I mean, we picked him up this offseason, kind of getting bounced around between practice squad, but it's cool that we brought him back. And last thing I have here, Terrell Owens out here talking shit on Donovan McNabb again, dude.
He always is.
They were asking him, like, if he entered the ring with someone, who would he box? And he said Donovan McNabb. And he said he said, I'll use controlled anger. It'd be like a Navy SEAL. They're cool. They're calm under all conditions, but there would be a fire burning inside me. I knocked the chunky soup from him from 2004. Trust me. That's what he said.
Awesome. I would love to see it. I'll pay $10. I'll pay $10 to see that.
So Terrell is out here still like feuding with McNabb.
It is what it is. They're both like 50 now.
That's all the news that I have. I'm just looking forward to this week one, man.
I can't wait.
Super hyped. I'm excited to see what the Eagles look like. Mm-hmm. Jalen Hurts out here balling. I'm super excited to see Jalen Hurts. My big takeaways: Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith. That's like the things I'm looking at the most in this game.
I'm excited, man. Let's get it rolling, Mac Jones. I want to see you start your career with a victory over the team I hate the most.
See, that's even better. Even better. I mean, I don't really have a opinion on the Falcons, really. So, I mean, I just hope we get that win.
Let's see what happens.
The rest of the division loses, just so I can, be like, oh, Philly number 1 in the division right now. But you know what it is. That's all the news we have this week. So we're going to roll into the crazy sports stat fact of the podcast. And this one includes, I mean, this is another GOAT within the NFL league, Peyton Manning. In 2004, Peyton Manning led the NFL with 49 touchdown passes on 497 pass attempts, meaning that 1 out of every 10 passes he attempted was a touchdown.
That's awesome.
And that's the highest
10 passes.
And that's the highest touchdown percentage mark in NFL history.
That's crazy. I didn't realize it was that bad. Like, because Brady broke the record in 2007, and then Peyton Manning broke it again. But I didn't realize that's how efficient he was with his touchdowns. Yeah,
and that was a minimum of 400 pass attempts.
Right.
So, I mean, so that's crazy. 1 out of every 10 passes was a touchdown for Peyton Manning in 2004. Yeah. This dude was just surgical with it.
Can't wait to hear him on the broadcast this year.
Oh my gosh, I forgot. That's like with the Monday night games. That I'm gonna have to watch that here this week. Exactly. Him and Eli sitting down
talk about Gruden.
I'm gonna have to find that stream somewhere.
Right.
But that's all the news we have this week. That's Crazy Sports Stat Fact of the podcast. Make sure to go like and subscribe. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at SquadPodSports. We're almost up to 800 now. We're rolling.
Hell yeah.
We're almost up to 800. Hopefully hit that 1K mark by the end of the year, hopefully.
Know it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's the goal. If anybody's watching this, make sure to go follow. We're trying to hit 1K by the end of the year. So make sure to go to Twitter and do that, and like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. And we are looking forward to all these games this week, and we'll talk about them next week with y'all. Until then,
we'll be there for the recap.
Yep, exactly. Until then, we'll see everybody later.